Hi folks, I'm Ian Baker, and if you're in the market for an RV, you may find yourself overwhelmed with options. But I'm here to help navigate you through the process. This video is going to focus on fifth wheels, what to look for, and some major decisions you need to make to help narrow down your search. Let's start with where the term fifth wheel came from and essentially what it is. Basically, people copied a design used for horse-drawn carriages and placed an actual wheel on the back of a truck to attach a trailer, which would allow it to turn on a horizontal plane. Because it was literally another wheel placed on a four-wheel truck, it was called the fifth wheel. Although a fifth wheel hitch and kingpin today have had some obvious improvements, the concept of how it works still remains mostly the same. So why are fifth wheels so popular and why do people seek them out? A lot of people like fifth wheels because they tend to give you more space and storage than travel trailers. Plus, because the pivot point is on or in front of the rear axle, it tows much easier as well. The truck and fifth wheel move on the road as one unit, almost completely eliminating sway. Fifth wheels oftentimes will also have nicer amenities as standard, such as auto level, residential refrigerators, or upgraded ACs, just to name a few. You may find yourself saying, Ian, fifth wheels sound great, but with so many options, where do I start? Well, one of the first things you'll need to decide is if you plan on towing with your current truck or buying a new one. Bear in mind that you need a pickup truck to tow a fifth wheel. Unfortunately, an SUV just isn't going to work. The next part can be a little confusing, but I'll do my best to try and simplify it. Let's start with the truck. There are two important pieces of information we're going to need. First up is tow capacity, which, as the name suggests, is how much your truck can tow. One of the easiest ways to find this is by visiting rv.campingworld.com/tow guide, where you can enter the make, model, and year of the truck, and it will give you your tow capacity. Secondly, you'll want to find your truck's payload. This is how much weight your truck can haul or carry. Everything you put in your truck, including cargo, passengers, and the pin weight of the fifth wheel, are all taken into account here. If you don't readily have this information available, you can take the truck's GVWR, or gross vehicle weight rating, and subtract from it the curb weight of the truck, which will give you the truck's payload. That, for the most part, covers what you'll need to know on the truck. However, you also need two pieces of information on the fifth wheel. The first one you'll need to know is the fifth wheel's UVW, or unloaded vehicle weight. This is the weight of the fifth wheel before propane, batteries, and everything else is added. The second piece of info you'll need, again, is the GVWR, but this will be of the fifth wheel, not to be confused with the GVWR of the truck. Both the UVW and the GVWR of the fifth wheel should be located somewhere on your RV. The GVWR is generally found on a sticker on the outside, on the off-door side of your fifth wheel, and the UVW is usually somewhere around the entry door. Once you have all the necessary information, you will then take the UVW of the fifth wheel and add to that the weight of your propane tanks, batteries, water, and an educated guess of the weight of your stuff that you pack in the RV. On average, people pack around 750 to 1,500 pounds of stuff. However, that can vary greatly from person to person, and I highly recommend you have your loaded fifth wheel weighed before your first big trip to ensure you are towing safely. The last thing you'll want to do is take the loaded weight of your fifth wheel and compare that to the tow capacity of your truck. Many people like to have a 10 to 15% buffer zone from the max tow capacity of the truck, but again, this varies from person to person. Be cognizant that after you load the fifth wheel, including your propane, water, and everything you pack, that it is under the GVWR of the fifth wheel. Also, be sure you're not exceeding the payload of the truck. This is especially important in half-ton trucks, as their tow capacities can handle big, large fifth wheels, but their payload cannot. Next up is the profile of the fifth wheel. While there are low-profile fifth wheels, the main two out there today are full and mid-profile. While not necessarily something you need to decide right away, I do want to go over the major differences of the two, as it will help you narrow down your search. Mid-profile fifth wheels are generally lighter and oftentimes shorter than full profiles. This can be beneficial if you're towing through mountains or if you plan on towing a boat or trailer behind your fifth wheel to help stay under the length restrictions. You can spot a mid-profile from the exterior, as the front end roof line will generally slope down. If you're looking to tow with a half-ton truck, you'll most likely want mid-pro, as they often have shorter floor plans and again are lighter, including less pin weight. High-profile fifth wheels, on the other hand, are taller up front, allowing most 6-foot tall people to stand comfortably. Also, they usually have higher end amenities as standards. Things like auto level, solid surface countertops, and king beds are much more common in a full profile. Some manufacturers even use a Z-frame or drop frame, which gives massive exterior storage. Once you have narrowed down what you can tow and which profile you desire, you can then narrow it down further based upon arguably the most important factor, which is floor plan. This is where the greatest variant lies and where you really need to determine how and where you plan on using your RV. My recommendation is to start with how many people need to sleep in your fifth wheel on a regular basis. If the answer is 4 or more, I generally recommend an RV with bunks or a toy hauler with a drop-down queen bed. While dinettes and sofas often do convert into beds, they usually aren't the most comfortable, and many people find it to be a hassle to make them every night and take care of them every morning. So, let's take a look at some of the floor plans that offer plenty of sleeping space. One of the most common for several years is the rear bunkhouse. This floor plan offers excellent separation for the parents and children alike. Not only do the kids get their own space, but this also allows parents to stay up later without disturbing the kids, and you get a dedicated napping room if you have smaller kiddos. These layouts generally offer 3 or 4 bunks in the back, and sometimes will have a slide out housing either a sofa or a dinette. Outside kitchens are also fairly prevalent with this layout. So for the family that enjoys some time to themselves at night or loves the idea of cooking outside, this is a good option to consider. Next up is the rear corner bunk floor plan. This floor plan is similar to what we see in travel trailer layouts. One of the big advantages of having this in a fifth wheel, however, is that it provides extra sleeping space while having the excellent towability that comes with a fifth wheel. Plus, this floor plan usually maintains a shorter overall length, making it ideal for the family that wants to tow a boat or other type of trailer like a snowmobile, motorcycle, golf cart, whatever it may be, behind them. The newest and hottest bunk floor plan to hit the fifth wheel market is the mid bunk. This layout is for the person who wants the best of both worlds. You'll get a spacious rear living area for entertaining, as well as oftentimes a large kitchen with an island, thanks to the dual opposing slides. Where this one really shines, however, is the mid bunk room. This usually houses 2 bunks or sometimes a top bunk with a sofa directly across from an entertainment area that also usually has storage. Some of these mid-bunk layouts will also offer lofts up above this mid-bunk room, providing even more sleeping space. So for the family that wants the best of both worlds and has a big enough truck to tow one of these big fifth wheel layouts, this is an excellent option. Toy haulers are often overlooked as options for sleeping a lot of people. While yes, they're certainly great for their main purpose, which is to haul motorcycles, quads, golf carts, side-by-sides, etc., certain layouts can also sleep more people than most bunk models. This is mainly due to the power bed system in the back of some toy haulers that, in conjunction with the rear sofas, will form 2 queen beds, allowing you to comfortably sleep 4 adults. Naturally, because of the large garage, toy haulers also make hauling all of your camping gear like chairs, bikes, large kids' toys an absolute breeze. So don't be put off by the name. I'd strongly consider taking a look at this as an option. If, however, it is generally only 2 people and the occasional guests, then we look at some of the other options. Let's start with front living. Front living floor plans offer a residential feel to any fifth wheel thanks to the elevated and separated main living area. These floor plans are great for entertaining and usually offer 2 opposing sofas that are not only perfect for relaxing, but also fold down into beds for guests. Oftentimes, they will also offer theater seating directly across from a TV and a fireplace for the ultimate couples relaxation. Next up are rear living floor plans. These have been one of the most popular couples floor plans for years, thanks to the open floor plan layout that you generally get. Rear living fifth wheels will oftentimes have a center kitchen island, offering outstanding prep space and storage, plus a large living area with a sofa and theater seating across from a TV and fireplace. Because of the open floor plan concept, if done right, these floor plans can be a little bit shorter than other living room centric floor plans, but still feel very large. For the couples that love to cook, rear kitchen floor plans are where it's at. You get a dedicated kitchen in the back of the fifth wheel where people aren't constantly getting in your way. These floor plans can sometimes be quite unique, offering large hoods, or high top bars, or just a lot of other amenities you generally don't find in other layouts. There are other floor plans as well, like front kitchen, front bath, and rear entertainment. While the ones we went over are certainly the most prevalent, a few of these other niche ones are definitely worth checking out because it might be something that you fall in love with. The last thing I want to touch on are some of the extra amenities that come in fifth wheels. Depending on your needs, these can be make it or break it factors that may be high on the priority list. Some of these include a second or possibly third AC. If you plan on going to Arizona or other really hot climates, this can make sure you're nice and comfortable even on the hottest of days. An island kitchen for storage and prep space. I talked about that in some of the other floor plans. These can be great for any cooking needs. Pantry storage may also be something you're looking for, possibly a king-size bed. A generator is also something you may want to think about for the person that likes to camp in more remote places. Appliance sizes are also something that people usually don't think about. Sure, you see a residential refrigerator right away, but maybe you want a bigger water heater. If the whole family has to take a bath, that's something you'll probably want to consider before making your final decision. All right, folks, that wraps it up. Hopefully this video helped show you some of the different options available in fifth wheels and help narrow it down so you can find the best type of fifth wheel that works for your needs. For more in-depth information, be sure to check out our RV reviews on YouTube for a complete walkthrough. If you're ready to start shopping, visit rv.campingworld.com and use our guided RV search to shop over 20,000 RVs. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and let's go camping.